Of all the modded creatures I've seen in Path of Titans, Maip has quite possibly the best sound design. Not only is it gloriously scary when it screams, it also packs a punch in a fight. As a baby, however, it does sound a bit like it just got out of the scream extractor from Monsters, Inc. I began my life as those before, picking flowers and running away from Rexes. As I moved to Young Grove and stopped for a drink, a pair of Utah raptors sized me up. I didn't particularly want to get closer to them, but they were in the direction I needed to go, and I knew that if they came for me, I wouldn't likely be able to flee. Unfortunately, they decided I looked like an easy meal, and the hunt began. Maip is quite tanky, even as a baby. I knew I didn't have much of a chance, but I still had to try and lose them. Somehow, I managed to avoid them in the brush beneath a few trees. It was an extremely close call, but I survived. My growth continued. I'd made my way to Grand Plains and got landed with one of my least favorite quests: flower delivery. I don't think I'll ever get used to the questing system as long as my scary, vicious predator is frolicking in the fields dropping off flowers for the honeybees, but I digress. On my third delivery, I noticed a pair of picnos wandering. Their vibe was immediately off, and I turned around. There weren't many places to go, and I couldn't possibly handle 2 adult picnos as an adolescent Maip. I was doomed. All I could think to do was try to use the cliffs, and hopefully damage one or the other enough that they died before I did. The attempt failed, and I was back to square one. Sometime later, after an uneventful regrow, I found myself back in Young Grove. This time, I was an adult, and I was getting incredibly hungry. Nearby, I found a young Spino and a Megalania locked in a fight to the death. On Arizoa, a player can third-party a hunt, as long as they target the weakest individual. Whoever lands the killing blow then gets to claim the body down. I watched the fight carefully, waiting for the right moment to strike. Maip on this server is intended to be opportunistic and happy to seek out easy meals. As soon as the Megalania looked sufficiently injured, I darted into the fray. My target fell quickly, and I had a meal, as long as the Spino didn't try to contest for it. After a quick discussion regarding the server rules, I was free to consume my kill. And was happy to give it up when the Spino returned for the leftovers. Life goes on. My hunger was getting dangerously low, and I hadn't found an opportunity to hunt. Everything I'd seen could likely take me down easily, and I was beginning to worry. When I spotted a Giga hunting an Argent, I felt a bit of hope. One or the other was bound to die. If it was the Giga, I'd have a free meal. If it was the Argent, maybe I could contest the body after the Giga finished with it. The Argent, however, simply gave up. It laid down in the middle of the fight, preferring to simply die and regrow than to defend itself. All the fun lost, the Giga backed off the hunt, and I was back to the drawing board. Luckily for me, a small Quetz nearby had killed something. With body down, he was meant to stay with it unless contested. But as he flew away, I heard the flies and was relieved to find a meal. I would not starve today. A short time later, I crossed paths with a Dilo. It mocked me from a nearby pile of rocks, daring me to fight it. My hunger levels, however, were just above what they needed to be in order to hunt, so I couldn't start the fight. He continued to follow until I was within hunting hunger range, and that was it. If he wanted a fight, I'd give him one. His tactic was incredibly simple. Kill me with fall damage. Don't take too many hits himself. When he finally decided I wasn't going to simply run off the cliffs until I died, it backed off. There comes a time in every growth I've had on Path of Titans that a Megalania decides to take a nibble. Sometimes it's when I'm young, but more often lately it occurs when I'm fully grown. This particular Meg thought he knew what he was getting into. Little did he know, though, once I've been targeted, I usually won't allow someone to simply just run away if I can help it. He attempted to use the water for protection, but I was not going to let him get away that easily. This fight was to the death. Either he'd have to kill me, or I would finish him. Ultimately, I'm not sure what finished him off, be it bleed or something else. But as he fled for the final time, he went down, and I had a fresh meal. Of course, Even with body down, you must be vigilant. A young Dilo approached my meal, and I, not feeling particularly generous, told him off with a scream. He had a friend. Could I have simply given up the body? Absolutely. Was I going to after the smaller Dilo had attempted to simply eat without contesting? Not a chance. On every server, no matter the rules, there will always be that guy. Today, that guy was an Argent, putting himself in the middle of my contest, standing over my food, and just generally being a pain in the butt. When I wouldn't fight him, he simply wiped out half my health before going back into the pond to harass other players instead. Now quite heavily injured and a bit annoyed, the contest continued. I came out victorious, and although I didn't need the food anymore, was content to sit with the body and heal off the rule-breaking Argent's applied damage. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to like and comment. If you're new around here, make sure to subscribe for more content like this. Thanks, and we'll see you in the next one.